Right, so Twitch is live. There we go.
Hello, Twitch.
Hello, Twitch. Hello. It's probably got audio issues. It normally has. It's a nightmare. It drives me absolutely crazy. Every time I turn my PC on, Windows has changed some audio setting.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Well,
Thank goodness for edits, right?
hell yeah. That's why the podcast is much easier. I'm like, oh, God, crop that out. Right, okay, good. You've got the list of questions as well. Again, they're just rough questions. They're not like...
Yeah, yeah.
It's just to give us some,
Yeah,
direction.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, jumping around there. What's going on? Delete that. Record that. Okay, you all set?
All set.
Excellent. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it. Welcome to the Indie Gaming X podcast. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and tell us what your game is.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, this is Bobby Torres. I'm with 302 Interactive, and we're here talking about the Commission 1920 today. I'm really happy to be on here and appreciate the opportunity.
Excellent. Okay, I can't wait to get into this because this is actually quite a fascinating story because this game is an indie game. So you are an indie studio. How big is the studio? How many are there of you?
Yeah, I think if you ask me today, we just made 7. We just hired one new person on marketing, but for probably the past 2 years, been just 6 of us, grinding it out, and for 3 years, just six people, passion for games, and trying to make it work. Man, indie studio is a scrappy business.
Yeah, it's. I think the main problem is it's focus, isn't it? For studios, it seems so hard to know where to put your focus. So at least the fact that you've got a team of you can at least delegate some sort of a focus to it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think what kind of brought us together was this game. Before the commission came along, and I'll talk about the commission in kind of 2 ways, right? There was the commission game that we launched 2 years ago, and I guess what I'm going to be talking about a little bit today is the Commission 1920, which is kind of a definitive edition of the project from 2018. And I guess once we started that project, like, we became a studio. Before that, we were just doing a little bit of development work as a group, as a team, I guess. And then we took on this project, and then we became a studio. And for us, we had like an LLC for a long time, but it was this project that got us into indie. Right? Everyone on our team has some sort of background in games and game development, but nobody had really published a project that wasn't related to, like, schoolwork or school homework. So this was kind of our foray into the space. And back in 2018, ironically enough, this is actually a commissioned work. Right? We're working with 2:30 a.m. Studios, who's kind of our publisher, and they contacted us through a friend of a friend of a friend and said, "Hey, we got this concept for a game, and we're looking for a small studio to develop it." And at the time, we were over the moon about the idea. We're like, well, crap, this is a godsend, because since then we were working on our own game. Weren't getting very far. It was a strategy game. Then an indie investor, let's call it, in 2:30 a.m. reached out to us and said, we want to make a strategy game, and here's the concept. What do you guys think you can do with it? And when we ran with it, we have a love of strategy games. It is crazy the amount of hours our team spends in playing, like, all sorts of strategy games, turn-based, mobile, you name it. And it's ironic that all of us have the same love of the same type of games. I think that's what kind of kept us together, is that we play the same games.
Definitely. I mean, that's always going to help because, well, it's obvious, isn't it? It's always going to help if you're a huge sports game fan and you're playing a strategy game, you're going to keep trying to stick some sort of sports theme in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that kind of got us started. The commission 2 years ago was a little bit different than the commission today. Commission 2 years ago, still turn-based strategy. The same themes kind of echo. Um, you're playing as it's a mafia game. You're playing as a Mafia Don, set in this fictitious city called New Shore. Uh, and you kind of choose your side, right? You choose which family you're going to lead of the five families. The commission, if you know anything about mafia lore, um, back in New York, uh, in the early 1900s, 1922, I mean, even as early as the 80s, there was a commission of mafia families, right? These the big mafia families of the U.S. Created this commission, this group of dons of families to kind of set the rules, right? To get together, to come to agreements on crime, right? To build their
Right.
crime enterprises throughout the U.S. So our game, the commission, is kind of based on that commission and the city of New York. It's a city that mimics or resembles a lot of major cities in the U.S. So it's got boroughs, uh, and your responsibility or your role in this game is to take the side of one of these families and lead that family to supremacy in the city of New Shore.
Right.
And that main theme, strings along to this Commission 1920.
Okay. So what I actually find really interesting is because so you released this game 2 years ago. Um, why have you decided to not? You haven't remade it, have you? Have you remade it, or are you re-skinning it? How much are you remaking of the game?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with kind of the Paradox line of games, grand strategy games are mostly played on like a map, right? You're playing, almost like a map painting game, and that element of the game doesn't really change too much. We changed a lot of visuals, a lot of menus and windows, but well, the main bulk of the work that was done is really just making this a much more strategic and tactical type of game where it's very systems heavy, and what we did is revamp and update and refine and include more systems for the strategic element of the game. Adding much more entertainment value, playability. Session game. We wanted to increase the game session. We wanted the game to feel a little bit more complete and increase difficulty. Advance the AI, a lot of balancing things that we really get to do back in 2018. We published the game out there, and once it launched, as games do, we did a lot of support and got a lot of feedback. There was, obviously bugs that came out that we continued to support throughout 2018 and 2019. Then we started to realize that there's pieces of the game that we wanted to see in there. And 2:30 a.m. Uh, as well had a lot of feedback as to what they wanted to see a next iteration or evolution of the game look like.
Right.
And our back and forth with them was, you know, about what else could we add to the game? What else could we continue to do? Is it a new game, or is it an evolution of the Commission Grand Strategy from 2018?
Yeah, because
I think,
that
yeah,
was my question. The fact that why iterate on a game that you've already made and released compared to were you not tempted to create a brand new game? I mean, because I know you've already got the base here, haven't you? So it's a lot easier to work with a base. But was it not tempting
yeah,
just to make a brand new game with a similar theme or a totally different area?
yeah. For an indie studio, there's a lot of there's a lot of challenges in any sort of development project. But with a studio of our size, we had to figure out what our strong suits were and look at our ability to kind of iterate and make games in a timely fashion and say, okay, what are we great at,
Hmm.
and what we're not so good at. and we're a very engineering heavy team. So most of our folks are Unity developers. So this game is made in Unity,
Okay.
and so yeah, our specialty is engineering. We're not art heavy. So we do have our folks that we work with. We said, okay, well, if that's our specialty, what can we do on the system side
Definitely. Yeah.
to do an update? Because I guess a new version of the game included a huge art scope that we wouldn't be able to hit our timeline. It was managing when we wanted to release a new game, and what we had the capabilities of doing.
Yeah.
There's
Makes
definitely a
sense.
management side to all of this.
Yeah. I mean, actually, will okay. So, will people that have played the commission, the original, is there enough in the follow up, or I don't know what to call it? Were you calling it a follow up or a?
Yeah, definitely calling it a definitive edition.
Okay. Is
It's
there is there enough in that for if they played the first game? Will there be is there enough of a change content wise for them to jump onto the new one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way the game plays, and the gameplay loop is definitely drastically changed by the amount of systems that we put in to this next iteration. The goal is still supremacy. That hasn't changed, but how you achieve supremacy and how the AI achieves supremacy as well is, I mean, almost completely different.
Okay. And what about new players? Will they be able to pick this up without any understanding of the first game?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And funny you bring that up. Strategy games, the pick up and play thought around strategy games is that there's a particular type of player that plays, let's say a paradox game, right? It's not a very easy game for somebody who's never played a strategy game to pick up. The commission kind of lives in this space where it is, almost pick up and play. You don't have to know too much about strategy and systems management or micromanaging resources and all that
Yep.
um, to enjoy the game. There's not a huge learning curve, and that's kind of the space we wanted to exist in when we made the commission back in 2018, and we wanted to continue that. Not adding a huge amount of complexity with the new systems they were adding in, like a title system or updated rackets and uh, you know how bribes work and things like that. All the systems that kind of build up your supremacy, we wanted to make it accessible uh,
Okay.
and not overly complex.
Okay. And will this only be on Steam, or have you got any other platforms? I don't know how it'd work on a console. Or, or
Yeah, right now we only have Steam scoped out as the only platform, and PC as well. So Steam and PC.
oh, okay. So it's not just Steam. Okay, that's good. Okay, so like I said, this is a bit different this time because we normally go down the sort of standard line of questions, but because of the story of this game, the way it's sort of gone, you know, I just find it quite interesting. So let's have a look what we've got. Where are we at to now? Um, difficulties is an interesting one. What? Because is there anything particular that's been difficult about this new version of the game? I mean, because you're not starting from a brand new clean slate. What has been the biggest
Yeah, absolutely.
problem you've had?
Yeah, I have a quote here from our lead developer because I wanted to include the development team
Of
who I
course.
guess couldn't be too and I'll put them out there a little shy to be on the podcast as a lot of our fellow indie developers
Yeah.
are.
What
But
indie?
I asked him what was the challenge.
Indie devs shy. What?
Yeah, exactly. But they gave me the opportunity to kind of speak for them, so I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
So in terms of challenges, like I said, this is a very systems heavy game. So quoting our lead dev Zach, we often got caught up in premature numbers and balancing and tuning. The rackets are the core system that the gameplay loop is built off of, so they were implemented really early on. We have a big spreadsheet with all these variables and rackets outlining the possible turnaround times for generating profit, the ratio between profit, recruitment, heat yield, etc. However, each time we add a new feature or modifier that affects a racket, you know, for example, the alcoholic trait boosts profit for speakeasies, but also increases their heat generation. And just give you some context, heat is, the measure of, how much police awareness is
Okay.
in that particular neighborhood
Right.
that you're, soliciting these rackets in.
How?
So balancing was a huge challenge for us.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, how the hell do you keep track of all this? Because, like you say, any little variable that you change is going to have huge implications for loads of statistics. I can't say that. Loads of stats. It's going to have. So, how do they keep track of that? Is it just masses of spreadsheets? How do you do that? I've got no idea.
Yeah, spreadsheets. Spreadsheets is
Oh,
kind
okay.
of the short answer to that question. Spreadsheets with lots of connecting metrics and whatnot. So you change one thing here, or you add another variable, and you kind of see how it plays out.
I
Um,
see. I'd like to see those spreadsheets. That'd be fascinating.
yeah, I love to share it with you. But they do give me a headache to look at because as somebody who played the game and continues to play the game, the only way I learn how these things work is just by banging my head against the wall. If I have to look at the spreadsheet that affects it, it gives me obviously an advantage as a player. What works and what doesn't work without trial and error. But man, it's hard to understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still can't even change the background color on a spreadsheet. There's no chance of me doing this. Don't get on with spreadsheets. Okay, good. Um, so that's yeah. I can see how that would be with such a number-based game. That is going to be a huge hurdle for you. Um, um, what about help with the game? So is it literally just been your team that have been doing it, or have you had to pull in anybody else from anywhere else to do some artwork or music or?
yeah. So we're an engineering heavy team, so we kind of have to pull in for music, sound effects, art. Uh, we're fortunate enough to be in a really good area geographically where there's a ton of universities around us, and those universities actually have pretty decent game design programs. So we have people reaching out to us all the time to offer their services, to work on projects, and
Okay,
we just kind of pinpoint the right people and put them in
that's
give them
very
work to
cool.
do.
So you're in Florida, is that correct?
Yeah, we're based out of Orlando, Florida.
Orlando. Okay. And just I say off air. That sounds like a radio. But off air, you were just mentioning about you did a little um, physical meetup group as well. Just and this is not related to anything, but just thought that was quite
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely. Yeah, Orlando, like I said, it's in the county, the tri-county area. There's like 8 universities,
Oh,
um, and a lot of these universities have gamers or game developers, and we helped facilitate and create a meetup um, for the last couple of years called Indianomicon. So us, it is an organization that exists before we came around, and then we, kind of took the torch from previous leadership, and we kept it going. Right, it's just a meetup,
hmm.
and there we helped facilitate you know, indie game meetups so people can get together and talk about their games, present on their games, get people to play their games, get feedback, get help. And I mean, it's great. That's kind of how we actually got started. Like I said, we didn't start the meetup, but we actually met there at events
Ah,
that they were doing.
that's very cool.
Like,
Discord.
I
And
really thought,
and you've also teamed up with our friends at Capitolite Studios as well.
yeah, Capitolite is, you know, one of the founder of Capitolite actually works on our team full time, and she's amazing. Uh, I'll plug Deanna here. She does so much. She's a game designer.
She seems
And,
very
and that
busy.
she's a game designer, founder, producer, social media marketer. I mean, you name it, she can do it. She's amazing. She's definitely part of the lifeblood of the team.
Yeah, I see her popping up absolutely everywhere in the Discord, on Twitter, with different companies. She does not take a break. But that's
No,
great. It's great having people like that, isn't it, on your side?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, actually, she's listening right now. She's cringing, I think.
Good. What else can we say? Oh,
It's all good, Deanna. I'm always happy to plug you.
okay. So you said that you've got. So we're at the stage now. So if you go to Steam, as we're recording this, it's still the original commission page up, but you've recently just submitted the new version of it. So that should be up by the
Yeah,
time people hear this, anyway.
yeah, we just submitted, so be on the lookout for that Steam page. And if something that you enjoy, go ahead and wish list. We're gonna keep on updating the Steam page with publications. I think for us, being as transparent as possible about our development process um, is something that we want to continue to do. So we'll post devlogs and change logs as we kind of continue to iterate through the development until release.
Okay. And how many? This is hard to answer. How many sort of rough hours are there in the game? Would you say on a? That's a very hard
On a play
question.
session, yeah, we definitely increased the play session time from commission uh, grand strategy from 2018 to the commission 1920. Um, average playtime back then was probably about 3 hour session. Would be pretty much till supremacy or till you get your butt kicked.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Pretty much double the session time. Um, so the gameplay is a little bit slower. There's more events and kind of quick time stuff that happens that you have to react to. Some more systems to manage. Uh, some additional strategic elements that definitely add more playtime. So it's a turn-based game. So we're talking about 100 turns.
Hmm. Okay. But it's not in real time, is it? It is just as you're playing. Doesn't
Yeah,
sort
it
of.
is turn-based.
They're not
You're
burning
familiar
bases
with turn.
down while you're at work, are
Yeah,
they?
exactly. Yeah, you can exactly. It's one of those games you can kind of play as you go.
And what about again? I know this is still a bit premature, but what about future games? Do you plan on doing a more of a series of these, or do you have some other ideas in the works? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a great question. We always have ideas. If you're in game development, I think the ideas never stop.
The ideas are
Um,
dangerous, aren't they?
Anything we can talk about? I don't think so at this time. We just kind of launched a mobile game called Squire, and that's available on the Play Store and iOS. But it was just kind of an early, I guess the equivalent of early access on Popl. Just an early look at a card based strategy game
Oh,
where it puts you in the perspective of a knight's squire, and you're helping the knight on his role playing adventure.
okay,
Uh,
okay. Oh, we'll
it,
leave a link to that. That sounds good.
it's definitely a fun one, but there's always projects. I think we meet at least every couple months to talk about new game ideas, and we do internal pitching and we'll vote on them and see what's got legs and what doesn't, and we'll start scoping them out.
That's why
And
you've employed a seventh person, so the vote can be because you
exactly.
can't have an even amount of people, can you?
Yeah,
Uh,
these things can get pretty crazy pretty quick.
yeah, I bet they can. So what about release date? When's it due for release?
Um, we're shooting for August. I can't give you a specific date because we're actually going to shoot for July. And guess what just got announced for last week? The Steam Summer Sale. So I don't know if other indie devs out there, but releasing during our summer sale, it's definitely something that it could be tricky to navigate. Steam's got a lot of rules around discounting and
Right.
what you can
Okay.
and cannot discount and all that stuff. So trying to avoid the summer sale
Yeah.
for release, not because we don't want to discount the game. So we want the ability to be able to discount when we want.
Of
And
course. Yeah.
once you discount, you can't discount again. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. I understand. Who wants to release in a sale? That's crazy time. I mean, I wish you hadn't told me. I wish you hadn't reminded me about the Steam sales, to be honest, because that's the time I have to not open Steam every day because it's dangerous. You know? End up buying hundreds of games just in case.
Yep, I hear you there.
Um, what about? Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's talk a little bit about Bobby.
All right, all right.
A little
Uh,
bit. So I mean, it's a very fancy name. I mean, Bobby Torres. It sounds. You sound like a footballer.
you know, back in my day, uh, no,
So tell us
I
what
had
you
up
can
a
do.
no, I didn't ever play. I played football when I was like 6 years old.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, not a
but yeah, no,
footballer.
I had up sales and business development at our studio, and probably ask yourself, well, indie game studio, what are you doing in sales and business development? Well, we sell more than just, I guess, games. Uh, we kind of been able to build our studio off of service work. Um,
Okay.
I think a lot of the people that I know in the indie game world have kept themselves fed by doing service work, right? Other people have Unity projects or development projects that somebody needs help with, and that's kind of how we got our start before our first game. We said, hey, we wanted
Course.
to make things together, and there's more power and working together than just individually. So we found some reliable folks. We started doing that, and my main responsibility of the studio is to keep on bringing in more leads, more just keep generating leads, building relationships, doing a little bit of this, talking on shows,
Mm-hmm.
to introduce people to what we do and what we can do. Especially these days, with a pandemic, games and experience are really popular, and how to entertain and engage people while they're at home uh, is a service that's highly sought after. So
Absolutely.
that's a little bit about me. That's kind of what I do.
Well, I mean, it's impressive that for a studio, because it's a small studio, 7 people. Um, it's impressive that you've actually got a dedicated marketing person. You, you should ask for a pay rise because you're rare. Because a lot of indie devs and the mini little studios, the marketing is so overlooked so often. And
Yeah,
I don't know why. As we've discussed before, as I say every week on this, that people make brilliant games and then don't want to tell anyone about them. So it's a strange
yeah,
phenomenon.
that's kind of I guess my passion in the industry. I didn't wake up one morning and say I wanted to be a game developer. It wasn't a dream of mine as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I think I got a phone call from a buddy of mine and said, "Hey, I wanted to make a game." It's like, I need some help. Can you help me? And I said, I don't know anything about making video games, but I'll help you out. And then now, 5 years later, we're still doing, we're still making games together, me and him. And now we have more partners and more people, and 6 people now. We have employees and things like that. And marketing, even today, is still kind of an afterthought for us. We're trying to be better, at marketing and hiring more people to do marketing because marketing is hard,
It is.
just like games.
Yeah, it's another full-time job, isn't
It definitely is full time job for a lot of people.
it? Yeah. Okay, so is there anything that you guys need help with on the game? I always like to ask this: if there's anything that the community, or even if it's just testing or what is there anything you need help with on the game?
Yeah, happy you brought up testing. Testing is we're getting into testing phases of the game, and on top of that, we're doing audio now as well. So if there's anybody who does a solid Italian accent, New York Italian accent, or Chicago
Voiceovers.
Italian accent.
That's my specialty.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
If you've watched any
I'm
of my
talking to
past
the right
videos, don't watch any of my past videos. You don't need to see that. Just take my word for
guy.
it.
All right. Well, now's your audition. Let's hear it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't fancy the New York accent. I think I might fail. I can do some dodgy Scottish ones. Um, but
Oh,
yeah,
we always have. Maybe we can do a dodgy Scottish one. We have one character um, that is, we call him the Rat. It's kind of the narrator of the story.
oh,
Maybe you could maybe be an Irish fellow who
oh
got
yeah.
stuck in. That could work, man.
I
That
can
could
butcher that.
definitely
I
work.
can butcher that for you. No problem. Okay, well that's cool. Is there somewhere that people can go? Where can they contact you if they do want to help you, whether that's testing or applying for voiceovers or whatever they want? Where's the best place to contact you for that?
Yeah, best place to reach us is at our website, 302interactive.com. And then you can find us on pretty much every social media outlet at 302 LLC.
Okay. Well, again, we'll link to that in the show notes. No problem. Again, I've got the website open here, so if anyone's watching the Twitch stream, you can see what we've got going on here.
Yeah, a little bit. Our website's kind of shows off our services. We're working on a website right now. It's just going to be kind of our games website, our studio website. Kind of shows us off more as a game studio. Because out there in marketing land, sometimes you need to wear multiple faces. Depends who you're talking to.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Okay, so is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to go over in the game? Whether it's the mechanics of the game, I don't know if you want to go into that more, or who would this appeal to? I mean, if you're listening to this now and you think, is this a game for me? I mean, what do you have a target audience for this, or is this kind of pick up and play for anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people that enjoy strategy games at any level, real time, turn based, will definitely enjoy this because there's a lot of it is a strategy game, but the tactics involved to kind of be the the family, the supremacy in New Shore is awesome. It is an awesome experience, and it gets you really thinking about the time that this took place. So if you have any love for Mafia and strategy, this is really a game for you. And it's been a long time since, I mean, anybody's kind of created a game in the Mafia realm that wasn't a first-person shooter.
Definitely,
Um,
it's normally just a chance to shoot people, isn't it, in games by putting the word mafia on
exactly, or rob somebody.
it? Yeah, or someone. Yeah. Well, there's a question actually. Do you have to know anything about the mafia story, or or any slang? Would it help to know a little bit about the mafia before you play this?
I mean, you don't need to. I think if you have an appreciation or a love for the genre or for Goodfellas in general, this is just going to be an exciting play. It might take you a little bit to understand what some of the rackets might do. If you don't know what a brothel is, this might be a little confusing.
No, I mean I don't know. What are you talking about? What's that?
uh, no, it's there's put you in the shoes of a Don, where you have to think about how are you going to raise money for your enterprise, and it's really about crime. It's really about thinking about crime as an enterprise, and we don't want to glorify crime in any way, but we want to simulate it, and we want to put you in that perspective, um, and give you the opportunity to think like a Don.
So there are different play styles, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming you can be quite violent if you choose to be, or more of a briber.
Yeah, so there's 5 families in the game that you can choose to be a part of. And those 5 families have different play styles, different perks,
Okay.
and buffs, and kind of debuffs. So the family that you choose will affect your play style. Um,
Ah.
if you're inclined to violence, you might choose one family over another. If you're inclined to business or just good enterprise, there's a family for that as well. Bogianos would be your choice. Um,
Oh.
so yeah, we definitely want to give players the opportunity to kind of choose, a play style and figure out, which way they want to play this time.
Okay. So you've actually got a bit of replayability, haven't you, in this then? So you can play it through one way and then come back and butcher people.
Yeah, definitely a lot of replayability, and not just in the family you choose, but in the AI and which boroughs you start in, things like that. So your starting place in the city is going to be different on each playthrough. Um,
Ah, okay.
and each starting place that you have is going to affect how the game plays out, completely.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that makes it. Well, there you go. That just adds a load of playtime onto the game, doesn't it? Completely. Okay. Okay. So, is there anything else that you wanted to cover? I mean, well, we've done. What about socials? where are you most active? Where can people find out more about the game? I know we covered the website that's coming, but is Twitter probably the best place for you guys, or
Yeah,
Instagram?
we're really active on Twitter. We have a Discord channel as well,
Okay, yeah.
and we'll go ahead and link that as well. But our Discord is really kind of the place that you can reach us at all hours of the day. I don't say that just kind of from a marketing perspective. The whole team's on the Discord channel, and we really encourage people to reach out to us. Right? If you played the old game, have questions about the new one, you know,
Hmm.
it's a place to ask those questions. We're going to keep on updating the channel and sharing, concept art and screenshots and asking questions too. I think the biggest benefit to us as a studio is that we have the ability to directly interface with people that play these games. We want to know if we're doing the right thing or if we have a question about a system or how somebody would play through a system. And we ask those questions directly in the Discord uh, when we get feedback. So there's on the people who've been on our Discord channel for the last couple of years. We've reached out to them directly to kind of help even engineer this next iteration of the game in the Commission 1920.
Okay, that's very good. That's nice. Nice to know. Like I say, it's always nice when you join um, a Discord, and it's because some of them are so swamped that you just get lost in the chatter, don't you? So it's always nice when you can actually interact with the developers, and that's the joy of indies as well. That's what I love about them so much.
Yeah, same. I got to say that's been one of my favorite parts of making games is that talking to the people that play our games. It's a huge blessing.
Hmm, definitely. Um, so I was going to say something that revolved around Discord and Twitter, and it's lost. It's gone. Oh, that was what I was going to say. So if people want to, when are you doing the early access or beta testing? When's that happening?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and probably start that in June. Second week of June, I think we'll go ahead and have like a beta build ready to go. And I hope our lead developer is listening to that and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain this one will be good to go.
No, give him a date. Give him an exact time and date. It's going to be June the 12th at 12 p.m. There you go.
Yeah, we'll call it June 2nd.
All right, okay. We'll give him a bit longer. All right, fair enough. So if people do want to be in the testing, so the best way is to join the Discord and ask you. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, absolutely. The best way is to join the Discord and we'll go ahead and kind of recruit testers that way.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's the ambulance.
All right, that's it. It's just like the soundtrack for the game. Very fitting. Okay, well, fantastic. Like I said, that's all the main questions I've got for you. Unless there's anything you wanted to add.
No, man, this has been great. Thank you.
Oh, so there we go. That is the wonderful Bobby Torres. I love the name. I'll say it again. With the Mafia inspired strategy game, which I'm actually really interested to play this because, as I've said before, I'm not a strategy man because I'm too impatient. But it sounds like I can kind of just pick my way of playing through these families. So I want to give this a go and see how far I get. So I'll probably do a stream of this when the beta comes out. I'll do a stream of the beta, and you can watch me make really bad decisions. How about that?
I look forward to it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Nice talking to you.
Thank you. I love the C for Serious community. Keep making content.
We will do. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'll stop the audio recording there. But Twitch, we're still on Twitch, so there we go. Cool, man.
They get a little bit of the B-roll. Yes, this is fun.
That's the benefit. See, there's Twitch.
Definitely fun. I should have dropped more dates so I can push the development time faster. Hey, look, I told people these dates. We got to do it.
I know. See, you're missing a trick. The devs will always take more time if you give
They
it. They
always want more time, right?
these
Everybody's a
devs,
perfectionist.
these bloody devs. God. Yeah. Again, like I said, if you want me to cover anything in the future, if you want to, if you do want to come back on and talk about the game again or whatever, just let me know. We can do another
We'll
one.
do. We'll do. I think when we have the beta build available, I'll go ahead and we'll send it your way, and then when we have it out, we'll go ahead and send you a Steam key too.
Yeah,
With
yeah, cool. I said I'm trying now to do launch day streams for everybody that comes on. So
oh man, that'd be great. That'd be great.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just not 100% successful so far, but because I work weird shifts, I can't always do it.
Yep, hear that.
But I will try, or at least if it's not launch day, the next available day, just so that, again, so you can push people to the right place and just show more content off. And it's the way, isn't it? Oh, we had
Yeah, hopefully that. Yep.
no, sorry, I was just reading the Twitch chat. So
Any exciting questions? Anything
uh,
we can clarify for you?
now we had CK Crash, who's
Oh, yep.
hiding in the bedroom of the same apartment as you. Wow, is he tied up?
That is, yep, that's our lead developer. He'll go ahead and, I
Is
told them they can't leave their, I told them if they leave their bedrooms, they have to talk on the podcast.
so
So that's why.
so they stocked up on pizza and just stayed in there. Yeah, well, again, it'd be cool if any of them, if any of the crew want to jump on in the future, if they feel braver now, we can do a little
I
group.
think I might be able to convince somebody or
Yeah,
maybe make life threats. Let's see.
just threaten to turn the power off or something. I'll get them out. That's fine. Cool. That's cool. To be honest, I don't think there's going to be an awful lot of editing to do in the podcast, really. Just a few little bits here and there. So I should be able to get this out. I don't know what day it is. What
Thanks.
day? It's Wednesday, isn't it? Hopefully over the weekend, I'll say.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Um, I might be able to get it out tomorrow, maybe. If I'm quick, I can get it out tomorrow. If I don't get it out
Oh,
tomorrow, then I'm working for the next 7 days. So rubbish.
yeah.
Bloody day
You're a
jobs.
magic man. You get it out tomorrow. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Everybody's got one. That's the story of the indie dev.
I'll try. I'll try my best. Just depends if I get distracted by games. They're distracting, Okay, well,
What do you got? What do you got next on your list? What do you got next on your list? What's coming up next? What can I expect on YouTube and
um,
Twitch?
what I'm trying, I'm still trying to organise the interview with Get Indie Gaming. I don't know if you watch his
Mhm.
channel at all.
Yeah.
Um, we've been trying to organise it for like 3 weeks, but he's very busy.
So many games, so little time.
Yeah, so Get Indie Gaming is going to be the next one, hopefully. But I've got a list of people I've got to get to. It's that's a problem. You mentioned it once that, oh yeah, does anyone want to come on? Then, oh my god, get inundated.
Oh, thanks for filling this in. This is always good, man. You're doing a good thing.
No, cheers, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to help people get the games out there. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It's cool, and I get to play cool games. And do you know what is interesting is I get to play games that I would never buy.
Yeah, that's that's where I'm at. I buy games that I will never play. I buy games too much. That's my problem.
Yeah, my
I buy
Steam
games
library.
I'll
Oh,
never play.
what is my Steam library at now? It's like Christ, 471.
I think my library is at like 130, so I'm not definitely not at your level.
Yeah, 471, and that's the problem with the Steam sales. I pick them up and I just don't get time to play them now. Especially now I'm doing this. Like I said, I thought this was going to be casual. Oh yeah, I'll just record the odd podcast. I'll play the odd game, and it's just absolutely taken over every minute of my time now.
Yeah, yeah, I find it even hard to play our game. It's like I have to actually put it on the calendar. I was okay from this time to this time I'm playing this game.
I'm definitely playing it this time. Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Cool. Okay.
But
Well,
good.
I'll stop the Twitch stream. So there's nearly an hour there, so that's cool. And what I'll do, I'll chop the front and end off a little bit, and then just upload it to YouTube, just so it's like I said, it's something easy to link to. But you have to wait 24 hours for Twitch. You can't upload it for 24 hours.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, send it over to me, and honestly, if you want to send it over to Deanna too,
Yeah,
Nakayuma,
I'll send
she'll
you the
go ahead and take.
links. If you could actually send me a list of the links that you want included. So if you've got your website, your Steam, whatever you want to add as a link, send it over, and I'll put
Okay.
that. I'll put that in the YouTube comments and the podcast notes, of course.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll do.
Then I can just copy and paste them in.
Yeah, thanks again, man. This is awesome. We'll appreciate the time, and we'll keep listening, man. Keep playing those interesting games because that last one, like I said, now I'm actually gonna give you a recommendation. Watch the movie's called Treasure Planet. All right, and in all of the free time that you have, put on Treasure Planet, and you'll have a greater appreciation for the game that you played.
Oh, okay. Treasure Planet 2002. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so. Sounds about right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Doesn't it look the same? I mean, does it look similar?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there's pirates.
There's pirates in space.
Oh, Treasure Planet. Oh, Christ, is that Treasure Planet? Wow, yeah. I see what you mean now. That's made it interesting. Cool. All right, I'll watch it. I'll find it legally online somewhere.
I'll lend you my Disney Plus account.
Yeah. Oh no, you will. I'll subscribe legally. I promise.
Of course. That's all what we all do here.
All right, let me put my little end screen on. So that is the end of Twitch. That is chatting. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.